Hey y'all, I'm going to show you how to make chow chow today. Chow chow, it is sour and spicy and over the top delicious. It's a southern condiment and I'll teach you how to do it the right way.
Cut.
Okay, we are starting our chow chow. And what I have here is one head of cabbage. I know it looks huge, doesn't it? It was a pretty big head of cabbage. And all I did was just, slice it up. Got the core out. My sister-in-law brought this to me yesterday. So I thought I'd make chow chow with it today. Alright, put it in something big to start out with. You won't end up with this much volume, but you need a big bowl or canister or something to work in to start out with. I love this bowl. My friends Patty and Tina found it for me. Isn't that pretty? I was looking for an excuse to use it. Alright, so we're going to add some more veggies to this. And what we have is really, if you think about this, this is a collection of very late summer or fall, mid-fall vegetables, okay? Cabbage is fall. We have green tomatoes. The frost is coming soon, so people are getting the last of the tomatoes off their vines, even if they're not ripe. So we got a lot of green tomatoes right now. I have 4 serrano peppers that I thinly sliced. You can use jalapenos, you can use less. We like, kind of spicy. And then I have a yellow pepper, a red pepper, and a red onion, okay? And this is why you need so much volume to start out with. Okay, so everything goes in here. And the first step of this is to salt your veggies. Now, the salt is going to draw out, and look, it seems like a ton of salt. Don't panic. We're going to get rid of a lot of it. But this is 3/4 of a cup of kosher salt. Table salt, you would use less than half. Okay, so think about your types of salt. What's going to happen is the salt is really going to start to break down the cellular structure of these vegetables, and a lot of liquid is going to come out of these. Now, we're starting out with just this big monster bowl. In a little bit, I'm going to transfer everything to this colander, but I'm going to give it a couple of hours just in the bowl to sit. All in all, the salting part, you want to give yourself about 4 hours for the salt to kind of do its thing and work its magic. Now, I've seen a lot of folks that toss the liquid. I don't. It's delicious. It's really great. I always thought it'd make a great Bloody Mary. I've never tried it, but I'd love to. It makes me think of my grandmother and her friend Peggy Bell. They used to make chow chow just like this. And Peggy would show up and she'd have 2 giant coolers and a bottle of gin. And I thought, I need to write a cookbook one day and call it Gin and Chow Chow. Okay, so this is all we're doing at this point. You do it the way Peggy and Granny did it and get your hands in there and really massage the vegetables. That works. Although, I tend to be pretty sensitive, my skin, to hot peppers. So I don't really want to touch the serranos any more than I have to. So I think I'm just going to let thyme and salt do its magic. I could do a better job stirring that up, but I don't think I'm going to yet. Alright, we're going to let everything sit, and we'll be back, and I'll show you what it looks like as we move on. Alright, we've been in the salt for about an hour and a half. And I wanted to show you all, do you see how much liquid has been released? I've given that a stir, I don't know, a couple times. Not that big a deal. And at this point, I'm going to transfer it to a colander. It will continue to lose liquid. That's fine, that's what you want. If you want to catch your liquid, go ahead. I think it's delicious. If you don't worry about it. Alright, so we're just coming over here. I've got a colander set up over a plate, and we're going to let this stuff drain. And we're going to keep our eye on that 4-hour total window with the salt. So, what time is it? We started at about 10, so we're looking at about 2 o'clock for the next step. You can stir it if you want to. You can ignore it if you want to. Just let it sit there. That's it. Alrighty, 4 hours have passed, and I have started a couple times, but we're done, right? So I'm going to take this over to the sink in a minute and rinse it really well. Remember how much salt we added? If you taste the cabbage when you first start, it's incredibly salty. It's still a little salty, but most of the salt has actually come over here. See that? It's at least 3 cups of liquid. That's the vegetable juices that came out after we salted it. Excuse me. So we're going to give this a good rinse. But in the meantime, we're going to start our brine. And we're doing this with 2 cups of light brown sugar. And to that, we're going to add 5 cups of apple cider vinegar. And get that on medium heat. We're going to bring that up to a boil because we want to dissolve all that sugar. And we also want to bloom our spices. So we have 2 teaspoons of ground turmeric, a couple of tablespoons of mustard seed, a good 2 teaspoons of red pepper flakes. You can use less. I like it spicy. And then about a 1/4 cup of pickling salt. And that's going to come up to a boil. And then we're going to add our drained and rinsed veggies. So right now we're waiting on boiling water. It's not quite up to a boil, but it's almost there. So I'm going to go ahead and add our veggies. I did give it a stir and I gave it a taste, and all the sugar has dissolved. So we're going to go ahead and add veggies. When we get the veggies in, then we're going to bring that up to a boil. I'm always amazed at how much the vegetables reduce in volume as we go through the process of working with them. So it's probably reduced by half. If you remember that giant bowl I had to start with, this stock pot is much smaller than the bowl. Alrighty, everything's in. We've given it a good stir and we're waiting on it to come up to a boil. Then we're going to simmer it for 10 minutes and then it's going to be ready to pack into jars. I've got clean jars over here waiting, and I've got water over here coming to a boil. We're going to give a quick 10-minute water bath to this once we pack it. But I'll be back and show you what that is. Alright, 10 minutes and we're ready to go. I'm going to move us over here to the counter where I hope you all can see. I'm just going to do a quick, let's see, are we set up right? I'm going to do a quick hot water bath on this. Now, I am not your go-to person for canning advice. I do can, but you really do need to find somebody a little more authoritative than me. But a hot water bath is the simplest and easiest way, I think, to can anything. And you simply take the entire jar and the lid and everything you packed in it, and it goes right in a big bunch of hot boiling water. This I will process for about 10 minutes. Ooh, hot vinegar. Now, at this point, I will tell you, taste it. All of these flavors need some time to come together. They really do. Those are rich, intense spices. And everything just needs, you gotta give it a few days to perk. But you can tell at this point, you can get a very good idea of what your final flavor is gonna be. I tasted it and it's wonderful. I mean, this stuff, I could eat the plain cabbage just salted by itself. And the texture is out of this world. It's crunchy still. I don't know if you can hear me crunching, but I'm crunching. Alright, so we're giving ourselves some headroom. And you do want to top it off with your liquid. The pickling liquid that's in here. So you do want to make sure that your veggies are submerged. And y'all don't have to watch me do all of these, but I'm going to show you this first one. This is perfect. I love fall. And one of the things I love most about fall, of course, canning and baking. Alright, so at this point, make sure your tops are clean. And this is a little messy, so make sure you wipe down well. And then I have clean lids that I've boiled. So everything is nice and sterile, very hot. And that's it, okay? This is ready to go in the water bath. So I'm going to pack the rest of my jars and drop them in the water bath. I love that sound. So, oh, there's like 3 pieces of cabbage floating in my stock pot. All right, I got my timer set for 10 minutes, and there we go. All right, first batch. So here we go. Those are ready. So set these somewhere where they can cool, where you're not going to mess with them. And usually when you're canning stuff, especially this water bath thing, most sources will tell you to set it someplace and let it just sit for about 24 hours. That's fine. But I wanted to show you, this is what it looks like. Ta-da! Now, like I said, it needs a couple of days. Is that showing? It needs a couple of days to really perk and let those flavors come together and really bloom. But already, y'all, it's addictive. Ooh, that's good. Hey YouTube, thanks for watching. And if you thought that video was helpful, do me a huge favor. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit the little bell so you get a notification whenever I post a new video. And if you have a second, hop on over to Patreon and check out how to support my channel even more. Again, thanks for watching.